Every morning, a new note appeared on his desk, signed by a coworker who died 3 years before he was hired. The first note appeared on a Tuesday, stuck to the edge of my desk when I came in for the night shift. 2 words written in careful blue ink. "You're late." I laughed it off, crumpled the yellow sticky note, and tossed it in the trash. But the next morning, there was another one, placed squarely on the center of my keyboard. The second note read, "You look tired." Same handwriting, same yellow paper, and it was signed at the bottom corner with a name I didn't recognize. M. Calloway. I checked every camera on my floor. The only movement all night was me. No one entered the security office, and yet the note had been placed exactly where I couldn't miss it. I mentioned the name to Danny, one of the janitors, the next evening. He stopped sweeping and stared at me like I'd said something obscene. "Calloway? You serious?" He told me about her. Mara Calloway. She'd worked on the 14th floor back when the building was full. 10 years ago, she fell down the elevator shaft. They said it was an accident. The 14th floor had been sealed off since her death, turned into nothing but storage, old cubicles, and dust. "You shouldn't be talking about her," Danny said. "People who talk about her notice things." I didn't believe him. But that night, there was another note. It read, "You asked about me." The handwriting was neat, almost gentle, but the message underneath it was different. It read, "I know about your daughter." My stomach dropped. I hadn't told anyone at work about Lily. I pulled out my wallet, with shaking hands, the only photo I kept face down, the one where she's laughing on the front steps of our old apartment. The next morning, there was a new note tucked into the crease of the photo. It said, "She has your eyes." I tried to trace the handwriting through the archived personnel files. The system returned a result for Mara Calloway, employee number, start date, department. But when I clicked to open the file, the screen flickered. For a moment, I saw a scanned ID photo. Dark hair, pale skin, a small silver necklace. Then the image grayed out, replaced by a single line. File corrupted. I tried again. Same thing. The name was there, but the record wasn't. That night, the lights on the 14th floor turned on by themselves. I watched it on the monitor. One by one, the fluorescents flickered to life down the long corridor, illuminating rows of cubicles and abandoned desks. At the far end, near the elevator, a figure stood perfectly still. I couldn't make out any detail, just a silhouette too, still too focused, as if it knew exactly which camera I was watching. I radioed maintenance. No one answered. I went up. The stairwell was colder than it should have been, the air thick and stale, like the building had been holding its breath. When I stepped onto 14, the lights hummed overhead. The cubicles were empty, coated in dust. Papers lay scattered across the floor, but there were no footprints leading to them. No sign anyone had walked here in years. Then I saw the desk. It was the only desk that looked used. A coffee mug, half full, a nameplate, and on the monitor, a sticky note affixed to the center of the screen. "I've been waiting for you to come up." The hairs on my arms stood on end. I backed away, but the elevator doors at the end of the hall were already closing. Inside, I caught a glimpse of a figure. Dark hair, pale skin, a small silver necklace glinting under the fluorescent light. She turned toward me. Her face was wrong. Not disfigured, not monstrous, just slightly off, like a photograph that had been copied too many times. The details were blurred, softened, as if she existed one step out of focus from the rest of reality. The doors slid shut. When I got back to the security office, my desk was covered in notes. Dozens of them, layered over each other, overlapping, filling every inch of space, all in the same handwriting, all addressed to me. I tore through them, hard hammering. You left your light on last night. You forgot to call your mother. You didn't say goodbye to Lily this morning. I remember what that feels like. I found the one at the bottom. The ink was darker, the letters pressed harder into the paper, like the writer had been angry. It read, "You were supposed to die instead of me." I went back to the archive and searched for my own name. My employee record loaded normally, but something was wrong. My start date was 3 years earlier than I remembered. I had no memory of those 3 years. I called my wife. The number rang and rang. No voicemail, no answer. I tried my daughter. Same thing. I checked my phone. No recent calls, no texts, no photos after a certain date 3 years ago. It was as if the last 3 years of my life had been quietly edited out. The monitor flickered. The camera feed from the 14th floor was back. The lights were off. The cubicles were dark. But at Mara Calloway's desk, the monitor glowed faintly. On the screen, a new sticky note appeared, pixel by pixel, as if someone were writing it in real time. You signed the wrong contract. I looked down at my hands. My ID badge was clipped to my chest. The lanyard frayed, the plastic yellowed. I unclipped it, turned it over. The photo was mine, but the name beneath it wasn't. M. Calloway? The ink was old, faded, like it had been printed years ago. Behind me, the security office door clicked shut. On the monitor, the figure from the 14th floor stepped closer to the camera. Her face filled the screen, clearer now, sharp enough to see the hollows under her eyes. The way her lips didn't quite move when she spoke. "You were always supposed to be here," she said, her voice coming through the intercom, flat and calm. "You just didn't know it yet." The lights in the security office went out. In the dark, I heard the soft sound of paper peeling from a dispenser. Then another and another. One by one, sticky notes fluttered down around me, brushing my arms, my shoulders, my face. I couldn't see them, but I could feel the ink still wet against my skin. The last note landed on my lips. I didn't need to read it. I already knew what it said. If you ever find a note on your desk with handwriting you don't recognize, maybe don't read it alone. Subscribe for more stories that follow you home.